What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact, Jake, that the government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise, and they actually named it in the indictment.
Because my next guest just testified before a federal grand jury. He says he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's and parties. His name is Courtney Burgess, and he says a friend gave him 11 flash drives that belonged to the late Kim Porter.
You're legendary for the parties that you throw.
Mm-hmm. I'm a legend, baby, for a whole bunch of things.
Yes.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year. Hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And
From disputes over business dealings to personal allegations, Diddy's legal troubles have often grabbed headlines. Despite these controversies, he has managed to maintain his status as a powerhouse in the music world, navigating through the ups and downs with strategic moves. His resilience in the face of adversity highlights both the complexities of his career and the enduring influence he holds in the entertainment industry.
Announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled.
Diddy's legal team has labeled the accusations as a calculated attempt to damage his public image and extort money. They argue that the claims lack credible evidence and are part of a smear campaign aimed at exploiting his high-profile status. As the case unfolds, it has sparked intense public interest, with many awaiting further developments to see how this high-stakes legal battle will impact both Diddy's career and the broader entertainment industry.
Diddy Combs has sued a news agency and a grand jury witness for defamation. The $50 million lawsuit claims that Courtney Burgess, who is a witness subpoenaed to testify in front of a grand jury against Combs, repeatedly spread false information that he had videos of Combs participating in the sexual assault of minors and celebrities. Combs' legal team says the videos do not exist. The lawsuit also includes News Nation's parent company, Nexstar Media, alleging that the network promoted Burgess's claim on air. The lawsuit claims the defendants fueled a, quote, media frenzy that will prevent Combs from having a fair trial. Combs is set to go on trial for racketeering, trafficking, and fraud or coercion starting May the 5th. He's pleaded not guilty.
Sean Diddy Combs is filing a massive defamation lawsuit over alleged tapes involving the music star, other celebrities, and minors. Lawsuit accuses Courtney Burgess, a witness who testified in front of a grand jury, that she possessed those tapes, her lawyer Ariel Mitchell, and her parent company Nexstar Media. It accuses Burgess and the Mitchell of maliciously spreading lies, knowing that the alleged tapes did not exist, and our partners at News Nation of repeating that same false information. Burgess and her lawyer Mitchell did not immediately respond to the claims. Combs is seeking $50 million in damage.
Diddy's legal team emphasizes that the allegations have led to the loss of business deals, strained partnerships, and damage to his brand's credibility. The lawsuit highlights how the accusations have impacted not only his professional ventures, but also his personal life, causing emotional turmoil. Critics, however, point out that the focus on reputational damage rather than directly refuting the claims raises questions. As the case progresses, both sides are expected to present evidence that could significantly sway public perception.
Does Combs have to legally prove here in this case going forward?
Well, because he's a public figure, he has to do more than the normal. The normal would be that you, if it was against, a person on the street and they allege that you made a false statement against them and you have defamed them, you'd have to know or should have known that the statement was false and that you actually made it. That's the standard. But it's raised a little bit when the person is a public figure. Combs is a public figure, so now not only did they know or should have known that it was false, and did they actually make the statement, but there also has to be something called actual malice. Not only did I know it was false, but I intend to do some harm by making these false statements. If you don't have all three, and that's an extremely high burden in these types of cases, you really don't stand a chance to be successful on the merits in these types of cases.
Diddy, as a public figure, faces a higher legal standard in his defamation case. He must prove three things. The statements were false, the defendants knew or should have known they were false, and they acted with actual malice, meaning they intended to cause harm. This is a tough burden, making defamation cases like this hard to win without solid evidence.
Those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were. Right.
Sure.
Appear to
Let
be,
me rephrase
right,
it.
Based on
Diddy's $50 million lawsuit against Courtney Burgess centers on claims that Burgess spread false allegations online, including possessing videos of Diddy in inappropriate situations with minors and celebrities. Diddy argues these accusations are completely false, have severely damaged his reputation, and are defamatory.
You know Diddy, right?
Yes.
In what way?
Back in the 90s, I was assigned to the NYPD. I was the hip-hop cop back then, so I had to assist in arresting him in several instances where there were some crimes committed.
What were those arrests for?
One was the Club New York shooting. He was with J-Lo at the time, and the other one was the Steve Stout assault that happened with MTV.
Former NYPD detective Derek Parker, known as the hip-hop cop, has recently made startling revelations about Diddy. This comes after reports that similar tapes were allegedly discovered during a raid on Diddy's Los Angeles mansion, potentially supporting the claims made by his accusers. Parker's insights have added another layer of intrigue to the ongoing legal battles surrounding the music mogul.
So I have some exclusive information which you just heard. The fact, if it's true, that they found a lot of weapons at his homes, what do you think this could mean?
Well, what happens here is that the federal government started a case with him. Apparently the search warrant that had his houses in Miami and LA was pre-planned already. They knew they were going to do that. So they have a much bigger case. Right now with the guns, they're going to check them, they're going to trace them, see if they were used in any crimes. They're going to go over anything about cooperators that are cooperating with them. They're going to be talking to a lot of people about certain criminal acts that he might have committed, and then go from there.
And what about the videos?
Well, they're going to sift through those videos. They're going to look at them and then see if there's any criminality on those videos, and then they'll go from there.
So what do you think? I mean, it just seems like the house of cards might fall for Diddy right now.
It's not looking that great. Right now, I know that he has high-powered attorneys, and with all these allegations that are coming out against him and against other people, a lot of people are starting to be very nervous about what's going on.
Parker emphasized that the search warrant wasn't just a routine procedure, it was a calculated move based on substantial evidence. He mentioned that authorities were targeting specific items like videotapes, books, photographs, and digital devices, all of which could potentially link Diddy to trafficking firearms or other illegal activities. According to Parker, the raid was just the tip of the iceberg, hinting that more revelations could surface as the investigation progresses.
So Diddy's defense team has issued a letter to the judge stating that, quote, contrary to innumerable sensationalistic media reports, the sex tapes that are currently part of the case do not depict sex parties. There are no secret cameras, no orgies, no other celebrities involved, no underground tunnels, no minors.
So what the defense has done is they're taking an interesting tack, and I think the legal analysis is becoming fascinating. And they're saying if you look at these videos, this shows a consensual relationship, if you will. The great thing for them, for their defense about that, is that's in the past. All the folks on social media and so forth are saying, well, these people are drugged. They're saying they're drugged. Don't forget, it's easy to prove the court of public opinion, but when you get into an actual court, the federal government has approved their case beyond a reasonable doubt. And someone just getting on the stand and saying, I was drugged, the defense can ask a very simple question. Where's the drug test? Where's the proof? You just saying it now, there's a lot that's going to happen, and I understand what the defense is doing. There's like, this is consent, and if it is consensual, butt-naked baby oil parties aren't illegal. What's illegal is the trafficking aspect of this case, and they're saying there is no.
Diddy's legal team firmly stated that the media reports have been sensationalized, aiming to damage his reputation without any credible evidence. In their letter to the judge, they emphasized that the alleged tapes either do not exist or have been misrepresented. They argue that no footage supports claims of illegal activities, secret recordings, or any connection to minors or underground tunnels. Diddy's representatives maintain that the accusations are part of a broader smear campaign designed to exploit his public status.
Are you afraid in some ways that he'll get out, that there'll be some sort of retribution?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, even doing this, it's like, maybe I shouldn't say, maybe I should stop talking, shut up, but it's like, well, not talking hasn't changed anything either.
Dee Woods was a rising star. Her promising career launched by music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
He is looked at as a hero of our community, and myself included, I looked up to him too, So a lot of people don't want to believe that their hero can be this other.
Dee Woods, former Danity Kane member, spoke out about her negative experiences with Diddy. She described a toxic environment marked by manipulation and favoritism, which hurt the group's unity and creative freedom.
Now the former Danity Kane member is joining a chorus of voices speaking out against him, saying she felt Diddy created a verbally abusive work environment.
I'm curious why you decided to speak up now.
I would say that this moment now is a time where I feel like my experience, my truth will really be heard and actually considered and believed.
Dee Woods described feeling objectified and mistreated while working with Diddy, adding to the growing number of voices speaking out against his alleged misconduct.
At this point, we've all probably heard about these infamous parties. Diddy's assistant now giving us details about what he says were called Wild King Nights.
It's official. I survived what I've been through.
This morning, new details allegedly inside Diddy's world before his shocking arrest. The entertainment mogul now behind bars for federal trafficking and racketeering charges.
It was a circus. He did whatever he wanted, and we were just at his disposal.
Phil Pines was Diddy's senior executive assistant from 2019 to 2021.
I remember hearing the words, "Prove your loyalty to me, King." He grabbed me by the shoulders, pushed me to a girl that was on the couch.
The alleged parties similar to the infamous detailed in the federal charges against the star, where women were allegedly forced to perform sexual acts with Combs and others, often under the influence of drugs.
In the moment, it just felt like, what? Like, is this fun for him? Is this a test?
Philip Pines, Diddy's former senior executive assistant, 2019 to 2021, alleged she was coerced into inappropriate acts to prove his loyalty.
As his then boss asked him to purchase supplies for parties dubbed Wild King Nights.
We usually had a laundry list of items that included lights, alcohol, marijuana, ketamine, Molly. Those requests started to become more frequent.
Pines claims many of these parties involved younger women.
A lot of times you'd have him with a younger female. And there's a power dynamic there. A more impressionable girl is easier to reel in. Consent is between the people that are engaging, and I wasn't there in these situations to understand the consent.
Pines recounted an incident where Diddy handed him protection and directed him toward a woman at an art party. He also claimed he was tasked with procuring illicit substances and items for events known as Wild King Night.
New investigation. Discovery docuseries is uncovering some new allegations about Sean Diddy Combs.
The Fall of Diddy, as it's called, features stories from some of those who worked closely with the music mogul, and that includes Danity Kane singer Dee Woods, who was featured on the hit show Making the Band 3.
What would you say to Diddy if you had the chance to talk to him?
Girl. I honestly do not know, but I don't think you really have to say anything. As long as I'm holding my head up high and my shoulders back
I feel like I really want to hear this whole thing.
Series The Fall of Diddy, released on January 27, 2025, explores various allegations against Diddy, featuring accounts from former staffers and associates. It portrays a pattern of alleged coercion and misconduct, intensifying public scrutiny. Diddy's legal team criticized the series, claiming it offers a one-sided narrative.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet, but it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
In September 2024, a woman identified as Jane Doe filed a lawsuit alleging that Diddy intoxicated and misconducted her on multiple occasions in 2002 when she was a minor.
NBC News review of her account found inconsistencies with her allegations. She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 to catch a glimpse of her favorite celebrities.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
No, with having autism is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof druggle ball. The world's on fire. The fire is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In October 2024, a federal judge ruled that the woman accusing Diddy of misconduct could not proceed with her lawsuit under a pseudonym.
During the NBC interview, she says that she spoke with musician Benji Madden and his brother Joel at the after party. Benji is married to actress Cameron Diaz.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo that's the Last Supper, because I have a religious background, so it was just something to talk about.
But in a statement, the Madden brothers say they did not attend the 2000 VMAs. Inside Edition found this document establishing that on September 7th, 2000, the night of the VMAs, the Maddens were giving a concert at the Vic Theater in Chicago.
The accuser, whose identity remains confidential, filed a civil lawsuit alleging that Jay-Z and Diddy misconducted her at an after-party following the MTV Video Music Awards. She claimed she traveled from Rochester to New York City, watched the awards show on a jumbotron outside the venue, and later went with a limousine driver to a party at a large white residence with a U-shaped driveway, where the alleged misconduct occurred.
The woman also claims after the alleged assault, she ran to a gas station and called her father, who drove 5 hours from Rochester, New York, to pick her up and return home. But NBC says when they contacted her father, he says he can't recall the incident. I feel like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but I mean, that's something that would definitely stick in my mind. The woman filing the lawsuit against Jay-Z says it is possible that her father doesn't remember.
One of the things that stood out to me, Phil, was her father. Her father was also contacted by the news media because in her interview, she says her dad picked her up from Sean Diddy Combs' home after she said that occurred after she said Jay-Z and Sean Combs raped her. Her dad said he had no recollection of this incident, and clearly a dad, as he said, would remember something this serious, this egregious. So I think there are some serious questions that need to be answered, and the way you get those questions answered when you are a defendant in a lawsuit is by filing the kind of motion that I anticipate we'll see filed by Jay-Z's law firm, because there are questions about the credibility of this accuser.
In October 2024, a federal judge ruled that the woman accusing Diddy of misconduct could not proceed with her lawsuit under a pseudonym, requiring her to reveal her identity for the case to move forward.
Parties are the hottest ticket around.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time. You know, whenever you bring up a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizon, people get intimidated. There's a lot of people out there that feel intimidated by it. It ain't nothing but break it down racial barriers, break it down generation barriers, people from all walks of life.
Ron Perlman talking to Jay-Z, Jay-Z talking to, you know what I'm saying? It just goes on and on, you know, it's just like people from all walks of life connecting and getting together. Yeah.
Your parties are the hottest ticket in town. People dying to get into your party. How does that make you feel?
I mean, it's cool. You know, it doesn't make me feel any way special. It doesn't make me feel like a bigger person. It just makes me feel like I know how to throw a party.
During an NBC interview, the accuser claimed she spoke with musicians Benji and Joel Madden at the after-party following the 2000 VMAs, mentioning a conversation about Benji's Last Supper tattoo due to her religious background. However, the Madden brothers released a statement denying they attended the event. Inside Edition uncovered a document confirming that on September 7, 2000, the night of the VMAs, the Maddens were performing at the Vic Theater in Chicago.